All right, Lakers Nation, buckle up because things are about to get real interesting this offseason, especially with our age-old rivals, the Boston Celtics. Word around the league is that the Celtics might be looking to shake things up in a big way, and depending on how it all plays out, the Lakers could actually be in a prime position to take advantage. That's right, the purple and gold might have a shot at capitalizing off of Boston's potential reset. So let's dive into what's going on, what it means for the Lakers, and who we should realistically be targeting or avoiding altogether. First, let's talk about the situation in Boston. Jason Tatum, their franchise cornerstone, suffered a devastating Achilles tear, and while nothing's official yet, there are whispers that the Celtics might just let next season slide to get him fully healthy. Rather than push forward with a half-powered roster and long-term contracts weighing them down, they could use this opportunity to clear the deck, reset their payroll, get younger, maybe even stack some assets in the process. And in doing that, they might be open to moving a few big names that normally would be untouchable. Enter the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, we all know how intense the rivalry is between these two historic franchises. Celtics and Lakers making a trade? That alone would send shockwaves through the league. But sometimes, practicality trumps pride. And if Boston is truly looking to offload salary and prioritize flexibility, the Lakers could actually offer one of the most attractive packages out there. Why? Because the Lakers are sitting on a goldmine of expiring contracts. That means the Celtics could send out one or more of their big names, take back short-term money, and suddenly have a clean slate for when Tatum returns. Few teams have the cap structure and flexibility to pull that off the way the Lakers do. Now, does that mean a trade between the two is likely? Not necessarily. Boston still has to decide what direction they want to go in. Do they want to tank and build around Tatum for the long haul? Do they want to stay competitive and bring in veterans to make a push even without Tatum? Or do they simply want to stack draft picks and young talent to reload for the future? Whatever path they choose will determine who's on the table and how realistic a trade with the Lakers becomes. Let's say Boston chooses the path of flexibility. That's where the Lakers could pounce. They could absorb big contracts, send back guys on short-term deals, and give Boston that reset button they might be craving. But here's the thing. The Lakers have to be smart. Not every big name coming out of Boston is worth a gamble. There are a few players that make sense, and there are a few the Lakers should absolutely avoid. Let's start with a guy I don't want anywhere near Los Angeles, Kristaps Porzingis. Now I know, some of you are going to roll your eyes at that. He's a 7-footer who can stretch the floor, protect the rim, and on paper looks like the ideal modern big man. But let's be real, Porzingis is one of the most unreliable players in the league when it comes to staying healthy. The regular season, he's in and out of the lineup. The playoffs, he's practically MIA. That's not just bad luck, that's a pattern. And it's a pattern the Lakers can't afford to mess with. There's this idea that maybe you can manage his minutes through the regular season and then unleash him in the playoffs. But here's the catch. He's just as likely to be hurt in the postseason even if you sit him for half the year. That's not hypothetical either. We've seen it happen time and time again. He's got some kind of lingering respiratory issue now, too. Something about fatigue, breathing problems. No thanks. That's a red flag. Actually, that's a whole parade of red flags. And look, I get the appeal. Porzingis is still under 30. He's got a unique skill set. If he's healthy and things click, he could be a big-time contributor. But he's not cheap. Next season, he's making over $30 million. Even if that's an expiring contract, you'd still have to give up serious assets to bring him in. And unless you're getting him for next to nothing, it's just not worth a gamble. The Lakers are trying to win right now. They can't afford to roll the dice on a player who might be in street clothes come playoff time. Now, if Boston really is hitting the reset button, there are two names the Lakers should absolutely keep their eyes on: Jrue Holiday and Derek White. Let's start with Jrue. He's the veteran guard every contending team wants. Elite defender, playoff experience, unselfish, can hit the three. He checks all the boxes. And yeah, he's going to be 35 soon, but the Lakers aren't planning for 5 years from now. They're planning for this season and maybe the next. LeBron isn't getting any younger, and the time to win is now. If you can get Jrue without giving up a guy like Austin Reeves, it's a no-brainer. Of course, Jrue isn't cheap either. He's set to make over $32 million next season, then nearly $35 million a year after that, with a player option that'll probably keep him on the books until he's 37. That's a lot of money. But again, if the goal is to win now, you can make that work. And it's not like his game relies on athleticism. Jrue's a technician. He plays smart, plays physical, and understands his role. Slide him next to LeBron and Luka Doncic, and you've got a backcourt that can lock down almost anyone. His ability to shoot around 38 to 40% from three when he's in rhythm, that's exactly what you want next to a playmaker like Luka or LeBron who draws double teams and kicks it out for open looks. But if you really want to dream big, there's one guy who might be an even better fit, Derrick White. The guy is a defensive monster. Not in the same way Jrue is, but just as impactful. White is all about timing, help defense, weak side blocks. He's one of the best shot-blocking guards in the league. And that's not hype, that's facts. He can guard multiple positions, slide into any defensive scheme, and he's durable too. We're talking about a guy who's played 70-plus games every season for the past 5 years. That kind of reliability is rare in today's league. Offensively, he's no slouch either. He's a career 37% shooter from deep, and last season he was chucking up over 9 threes per game, hitting them at almost 39%. That's serious volume. That's not a guy standing in the corner waiting for a pass. That's a guy creating space, coming off screens, pulling up, and keeping defenses honest. Add to that his ability to pass, rebound, and play within a system, and you got a guy who can instantly elevate any lineup. Now, here's where things get tricky. White is younger than Jrue and on a slightly more manageable contract. That means Boston probably won't let him go unless they get a serious return. We're talking about maybe a package that includes Austin Reeves, draft picks, and more. And to be honest, they'd be right to ask for that. White is one of the best two-way guards in the league, period. But that also means the Lakers might not be able or willing to pay that price. Still, if Boston really is serious about clearing the books, there's a world where the Lakers could put together the right mix of expiring deals to make something happen. Maybe they don't land White. Maybe Jrue becomes the more realistic target. Or maybe, and I say this cautiously, they take a swing at Porzingis if the asking price is rock bottom. Either way, the key here is timing. The Lakers are operating on a tight window with LeBron. They need pieces that can contribute right now. Not next season, not in 2 years, but this very moment. So what it all comes down to is what Boston really wants. Are they trying to rebuild on the fly? Or are they just taking a 1-year pause to get healthy and then come back strong? Because if they're truly pressing the reset button, the Lakers could sneak in and grab some serious talent. Expiring contracts are gold in situations like this, and Los Angeles has exactly that. More than anything, the Lakers front office needs to be aggressive but smart. Don't chase names. Don't fall for the hype. Target guys who fit the timeline, fill the gaps, and can handle the pressure of playing under the bright lights of LA. Jrue Holiday? That's a winner. Derrick White? Ideal fit. Porzingis? Proceed with caution. Either way, one thing's for sure. If Boston opens the door, the Lakers better be ready to walk through it. Continuing from where we left off, the Celtics' willingness to reshuffle their roster could lead to some of the most intriguing trade scenarios we've seen between rivals in recent memory. And while it's not often you see a team like Boston hand a potential edge to a franchise like the Lakers, desperate times, or in this case, strategic long-term planning, might lead to unlikely deals. One huge factor in all of this is what the Lakers are willing to give up. Austin Reeves, for example, has become a fan favorite and a genuinely valuable asset. He's young, improving, and already capable of contributing in big playoff moments. If Boston demands Reeves as the centerpiece of a deal, that's going to test the resolve of the front office. But if there's a chance to land someone like Derrick White or Jrue Holiday, and the price is Reeves and filler contracts, that becomes a philosophical question. Do you sacrifice a piece of your future for a better shot today? What makes this even more complicated is that these deals aren't happening in a vacuum. There are other teams watching the Celtics situation closely, and you better believe there are a handful of general managers just waiting for Boston to hit the panic button. That means if the Lakers want in, they can't wait too long. They'll have to present Boston with something the Celtics can't find elsewhere. That might be cap relief, it might be draft compensation, or it might be a mix of both. But whatever it is, it has to make sense for both sides. Let's get back to Porzingis for a second, because he's probably the most polarizing name in all of this. Look, when healthy, he gives you everything you want in a modern big man. Shooting, size, rim protection. He could stretch the floor for LeBron and Luka, open up driving lanes, and take defensive pressure off Anthony Davis. But again, this man just cannot stay healthy. We've seen it for years now. Whether it's knee issues, back tightness, or now a mysterious respiratory issue, it's always something. And it's always at the worst possible time. And this isn't just about him being unreliable. It's about what that does to your rotation, your chemistry, your playoff chances. You build your team around guys like Porzingis, and then when he inevitably goes down, you're scrambling. The Lakers cannot afford that. This isn't a team that could take a hit in the postseason and still expect to make a run. They need all hands on deck. And while Porzingis might look good on paper, his injury history tells the real story. It's the kind of gamble that derails seasons, not elevates them. That brings us back to the smarter, safer choices, players like Holiday and White. These are guys with consistent track records, playoff experience, and the ability to impact both ends of the floor. Players who fit seamlessly next to stars and don't need to dominate the ball to make a difference. And in a lineup with LeBron and Luka, that's exactly what you need. You need glue guys. You need killers on defense. You need reliable shooters who aren't afraid of the moment. That's what Drew and Derek bring to the table. And look, I know some fans want the Lakers to go younger, to think long-term. And sure, in a perfect world, you bring in someone like Dyson Daniels or Jalen Suggs, guys who are still developing but have huge upside. But those players aren't going to be easy to pry away. And even if you could get them, they're probably not ready to help a team win a title right now. That's the core of the Lakers' dilemma. Do you prioritize the now or the later? With LeBron still in town, the answer has to be the now. You don't waste what might be his final high-level season trying to develop future stars. You go all in. You get players who can step onto the court in game one of the playoffs and change series. That's why Drew Holiday makes so much sense. That's why Derek White should be the dream target. Because they don't need months to acclimate. They don't need minutes to find their rhythm. They show up ready to go. And on a team with this much at stake, that's priceless. So what happens next? The ball is in Boston's court. If they decide to blow it up, if they want to offload salary, hit the reset button, and position themselves for the post-Tatum recovery, the Lakers have to be ready. This is one of those rare moments where a rival's misfortune could turn into your opportunity. And the Lakers, as strange as it sounds, might be the team best suited to help Boston hit that reset. Not because of talent, but because of contracts, because of the flexibility they can offer. If the Celtics are looking for max cap space in 12 months, the Lakers can get them there. If Boston's front office decides that it's better to walk away from some of these long-term deals now and retool later, the Lakers should be the first ones calling. The math works, the fit works, and the timing couldn't be better. But again, all of this hinges on Boston's willingness to make those moves. And let's be honest, pride plays a role here too. Would the Celtics really send key players to the Lakers of all teams? It sounds insane, but in this league, deals don't happen because of emotions. They happen because of business. And if the Lakers offer the best path forward financially, Boston might be forced to listen. In the end, this offseason could define the next chapter of the Lakers' run with LeBron. And if there's a chance to snag elite talent from the Celtics, whether it's a savvy vet like Drew or a two-way menace like White, Rob Pelinka and the front office have to be ready to pull the trigger. Because opportunities like this don't come often. And when they do, the great teams take advantage. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, tension is reportedly brewing within the Los Angeles Lakers locker room, as speculation swirls around head coach J.J. Redick in an alleged statement suggesting that a player is contaminating the team. While no official comment has been made by Redick or the Lakers organization, the rumor has sent shockwaves through the basketball world, raising concerns about team chemistry and internal strife as the franchise continues its pursuit of another championship. According to sources close to the situation, Redick privately expressed frustration over a player's negative influence on the squad, allegedly stating that the individual is contaminating the roster. a strong accusation that implies more than just poor performance. The remark, whether metaphorical or literal, has ignited speculation about underlying issues within the team, potentially involving off-court behavior, lack of professionalism, or locker room dynamics that could be affecting overall morale and performance. The Lakers, a franchise renowned for its star-studded history and championship pedigree, have been under a microscope throughout the season, with expectations running high and every decision dissected by fans and analysts alike. Any hint of internal discord becomes a major storyline. The rumored comment raises questions about whether Redick is struggling to assert control in his first high-profile head coaching role and how the front office might respond if the alleged turmoil continues to fester. Team insiders have yet to identify which player the alleged comment might refer to, but the speculation alone could be enough to unsettle a roster already facing challenges in a competitive Western Conference. The Lakers have shown flashes of brilliance, but have also struggled with consistency, leading many to wonder if off-court issues are contributing to the on-court inconsistency. If true, Redick's words mark a dramatic escalation in the narrative surrounding the Lakers season. As the rumor gains traction, it remains to be seen whether it will prompt internal reflection or public denial. For now, fans and media alike are left waiting to see whether the Lakers can rise above the noise, or if the cracks in the foundation will widen further. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.